So you've clicked on this video and you've read the title and you are here to basically just like argue against me and say that I just clickbaited the title. Well, I kind of did, to be honest. But however, there is an element of truth to what I'm saying here. So I want to talk about the uses of like medicinal marijuana and its medical benefits. And yes, the title is a little bit clickbait, but it's also, there's an element of truth to it. Marijuana is not actually legal in the UK. It's still illegal. I know it's not legal, and therefore things that are not legal are therefore illegal and against the law, but it's, in my opinion, not that bad at all. I don't give a shit. I don't think the police really give a shit, unless you're like growing and selling and then you're a drug dealer, and that's a different story. Anyway, if you're just using a bit of marijuana, I don't think anyone gives a shit, really. Personally, my opinion on it is I think the medicinal benefits of it, from what I have researched and my own personal experience, I think the medicinal benefit of it is so much that it definitely should be made legal. At least for medicinal. If you want to make it legal for recreational, then that's fine, because honestly, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a very low impact drug in terms of its damage to the people that use it and society. The drug itself is not the problem. It's the same way like smoking a cigarette. I don't think it's not the nicotine that is the worst part of the cigarette. It's the tar and all the other shite that comes with it. And I think things like cigarettes and alcohol are much more damaging in general to people as individuals that are using them and society as a whole. Like, they are way more damaging than marijuana is. So what I want to talk about is the medicinal benefit of it, right? So I've been interested in the, I'd say interested, it makes me sound like a stoner, but I'm not. I have previously smoked weed in the past, both legally, definitely always legally. Let's just say that. I have been to Amsterdam and I purchased some while in Amsterdam, perfectly legal in Amsterdam for recreational use. So I went there for a weekend and I smoked some weed and I got high and it was fine. Like, nothing bad happened. I've smoked weed a few times in my life, okay? And Amsterdam, obviously, because it's legal, it's very pure and potent, and I maybe took too much than my body was able to cope with, and I didn't trip out and have a bad time. I just walked around a lot. That's all I did. I walked around a lot, and then I sat down on the bench for 2 hours and I watched boats go down the canal. It was fine, totally fine. No problems there. In a strange city in a foreign country, I was completely fine. So there's two main parts, two main components, if you will. So there's THC and there's CBD. And there's probably more parts, but these are the two that people talk about and refer to most. So THC is the bit of the cannabis, the marijuana, that gets you high. That's what makes you high. The CBD has most of the medicinal benefit of it, and it doesn't make you high at all, not at all. CBD, which is a part of marijuana, cannabis, is actually completely legal in the UK. Completely legal. I didn't know this, I thought it was dodgy, but it is. It's completely legal. And it's really good for a number of different things. So, I'm just looking at a list here. Pain and inflammation, anxiety, nausea, seizures, neurological disorders, helps diabetes and promotes cardiovascular health. I mean, I'm reading this off a list, and some of them I know nothing about whether it actually does, but some of them I have read previously that it does help these things. Myself, I suffer from anxiety and depression, and I've been on antidepressant pills that have been prescribed to me from a doctor for probably like a year and a half now, and to be honest, they just weren't really working for me. I was still having a lot of bad days where I felt like crap, and I just got fed up of taking the pills. I hated them. I didn't really want to take them anymore. And even when I did, they didn't seem to work. So I was looking for an alternative, which is why I did a lot of research into CBD. So CBD is legal. You can take it in lots of forms. My preferred method is in a little e-liquid. So this, I'm trying to get the hammer to focus on it. You can't read the label, it's fucked. I've had it for ages. Got about half a bottle left. Anyway, so this is, I bought this online. It was about £12 for this little bottle. And this is just a base CBD. So what I do is, with my normal e-liquid, I fill up my vape, I fill that up with normal, and then I put like 4 little drops of the CBD oil in my vape, and I just vape as normal because I vape anyway because I used to smoke, and the vaping is healthier. It's not as bad for you as smoking, so I vape anyway. So I figured this is a good way for me to do it. Looking online, you can get it in like sprays to spray under your tongue, or they call it a tincture. I think they call it a tincture, where you put a few little drops under your tongue. You can get capsules. I believe you can get like creams and stuff with CBD. All of this with CBD in it. So there's different ways of taking it. And having used this CBD oil for maybe a month, I completely stopped taking my antidepressants. I don't take them anymore. I feel way better than I did on antidepressants. And again, I'm not saying for definite that it is due to this, right? There's a few things it could be. It could be that the CBD is really good at helping me with my anxiety and depression. It's like really good at relieving those symptoms and making me function normally and not feel so shitty all the time. It completely could be a placebo effect. Because I believe that it will work, therefore it does work. It could be that. I don't know. There's no way for me to test it. I don't give a shit if it is that. It's working, whatever it is. Whether this is real or whether this is not real. And it's not doing shit all except making me think it is, and therefore that is making it real. Either way it works, right? It also could just be that in general, the weather's turned out nicer, it's getting this summer and I'm feeling better. But whatever it is, I genuinely think that this CBD oil is having a positive effect on me. So I would recommend anybody who's suffering from like anxiety, depression, and you don't want to take the medication, because I know a lot of people don't want to take the antidepressants, and I'm not recommending that you do it. It's completely up to you, because you should listen to your doctor, and I'm not a doctor. It's completely up to you what you do. I'm not saying you should immediately stop your medication and start like vaping or drinking, you don't drink it, putting the oil on your tongue or whatever. I'm not saying you should do that. It's completely up to you. Don't blame me. In my personal opinion, it's had a really good effect, and I feel really good. I haven't had a day where I felt down and low in at least a month, in at least the time I've been taking the CBD oil, which is really weird, because I honestly didn't expect that much from it. I thought it's not really going to make a difference, and I would just end up having to go back to the doctor and talk to them about, a different medication or something, and I just really don't want to do that. But I didn't expect this to work the way it has for me. I mean, when I was on my medication, my standard antidepressant pills, I would still have a day where, on the odd occasion, maybe once every 2 weeks or something, I'd have a day where I just didn't care. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't care what anyone said. I didn't want to watch anything on TV. I didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to play a game. Didn't want to record a video. Didn't want to edit a video. And I would just do nothing for an entire day. If anything, I would just go back to sleep. I would just try and sleep the entire day, because I was just fed up of being conscious and around. And that really sucked, especially when I was still, I was doing what a doctor had told me to do, and I was taking my medication like I was supposed to do, and I hadn't been missing taking my medication or anything. Yet it still wasn't working. I didn't want to have to go back and get a different medication or more, because I'd already been back once and they'd doubled my dosage. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to end up on some sort of medication that made me not feel like me anymore, that made me flat and boring and just existing but not enjoying being here. I really genuinely think that the CBD oil is amazing. I mean, I've not felt this good in like a year and a half mentally, in my own mental state. And like I said, it can be used for lots of different things, for like anti-inflammatories and stuff. And so I would completely recommend vaping it if you're already vaping, and if you're over 18, legally you're allowed to vape. If you already vape and you want to look at some of the benefits of CBD, then I highly recommend you buy just a little bottle of this. You can get it in different strengths. So I think this was £12, but it's like the lowest strength you can get. But you can get a lot more higher strength, but obviously they're more expensive. I really think it's really good. It's really, really good. So this is what I'm saying. Like, just because marijuana, cannabis, weed isn't legal itself in the UK doesn't mean that you can't benefit from the medicinal side of it. Because you can legally use the CBD oil. And personally, I think that it should be legalized medicinally in the UK. marijuana. I'm not like an avid stoner and I smoke weed all the time. I have previously smoked weed a few times in the past. And I never had any bad experiences from it because it's not a hard drug like some people make it out to be. It's really not. It's just kind of chill. If anything, it just made me sleepy and just kind of like you have a laugh, and that's pretty much it. It's not like, oh my god, I'm tripping, I'm seeing dragons. It's not that kind of drug. And I think it should be made legal, at least for medicinal. And there are people that are going to abuse it and be like, oh, I need it because I have this, and they don't, and they just want to get high and whatever. But really, they're not going to hurt anyone by doing that. You can pop down to like your local vape shop and they will probably sell it. That was the first place I saw it, was in a vape shop. And I was like, okay, it must be okay to sell then. If you're here in a high street selling it, it must be okay to sell. There's no way that you would sell illegal drugs effectively in a shop on a high street. That would be crazy. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. I've said it's legal enough. So that's why, you know, I put the title the way I did because I want to grab people's attention. It's technically kind of clickbait, but it's also kind of true. So I feel like it's fine. It's not as if I just blatantly lied. It was a truthful. It's like a headline, effectively. It's like a newspaper headline. It just grabs you and brings you in. Now, it wasn't a lie. It was true. The medicinal bit of marijuana, the CBD, the more medicinal bit, THC I believe has some, but the more medicinal CBD oil from marijuana is completely legal in the UK, and you can have it and you can vape it and you can have it in a cream and you can drop it on your tongue and you can have it in a capsule with food. You know, it's all up to you. Personally, I vape it because I vape anyway, and it's just simple to do this, and it means that I don't forget. I just carry 2 different bottles in my pocket. I carry one CBD oil and one normal e-liquid oil, and then I just, when I fill my vape up with my normal oil, I just put a few drops of this in, and then I'm done. I'm good. That's how I roll, and it's really, really helped me. If you have any questions, you want to talk to me, if there's something that I missed that I didn't say, please like message me in the comments, or you know, you can get me on Twitter at Colsey Gaming anytime. More than happy. You know, if you really think that this video was stupid and you had no point, then feel free to dislike it, but please leave a comment telling me why, because then, you know, I can make changes in future. But if you liked it, maybe you learned something, maybe I helped you, please leave a like and leave a comment and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Woo!